and I love her and I want her to be awesome, but there's things that remind me of her, and yeah, it was my first real love.
Justin Bieber has never shied away from expressing the soft spot he still holds for Selena Gomez. Even after marrying Hailey, the warmth in his words when talking about Selena made one thing clear. This wasn't a love that simply faded. But things may have finally reached a breaking point, because with Selena's engagement to Benny Blanco and the release of her long-awaited album, it seems Justin may have snapped. And trust me, the internet is watching every second of this unfold. So, what's really going on with Jelena? Let's dive in. Justin and Hailey Bieber are reportedly going through it, all thanks to Selena Gomez's explosive musical comeback. Her latest album dropped just days ago, and fans wasted no time. Every track has been analyzed, dissected, and reinterpreted for meaning, especially those that hint at her most famous ex. And right on cue, Justin Bieber's Instagram lit up like a flare in the night sky. In one post, he wrote, "I've got anger issues too, but I want to change and not react so much." That line hit like a confession. The timing? Suspicious. Fans immediately linked it to Selena's music, especially the raw themes of heartbreak, betrayal, and growth. And Hailey? She didn't stay silent either. Her fast likes and cryptic comments on Justin's posts didn't go unnoticed. On the surface, it looked like support, but others saw something deeper. A carefully curated front. Was Hailey backing her man? Or was she signaling her own emotional distress beneath the surface? The very next day, Justin posted again, this time opening up about his struggle with changing for others. Another subtle nod to emotional turmoil. Now back to Selena, who just made her return to the music scene after a 5-year silence. Her fans were starving, and she delivered. But it wasn't just the sound that sparked fire, it was the subtext. Take the track Don't Want to Cry. The lyrics don't mention Justin by name, but the sentiment, it's hard to miss. She sings about feeling betrayed, blamed, and locked in a cycle of hurt. One verse stands out like a neon sign. Left the door wide open for the whole wide world to see you, and you kissed her right in front of me like I wasn't even there. To many, it was a direct reference to Bieber and his very public romance with Hailey, and then there's the haunting chorus. I don't want to cry now. I don't want to cry now. It's not just a lyric, it's a breakdown, a raw echo of heartbreak. Yet there's resilience tucked between the pain. In the bridge, she sings, "One day you're going to wake up, but all that's left is my pillow and makeup." Translation? She's done waiting. She's moving on. Selena hasn't confirmed whether Don't Want to Cry is about Justin, but let's be real. The parallels are hard to deny, and fans are running wild with speculation. Meanwhile, Justin's cryptic posts haven't calmed anything down. In fact, they've thrown fuel on the fire. Did he listen to the album and feel hit? Or is he just reminiscing about what used to be? His timing couldn't be more questionable. Social media has turned into a war zone. Fans from both sides are breaking down every line, every emoji, every comment, drawing connections between Justin's mood and Selena's lyrics. To many, his posts seem like windows into a shaken emotional state, possibly triggered by old wounds that never fully healed. The honesty in his tone made people wonder, is this regret? Is this longing? And that's where things get messy. Some fans warned against jumping to conclusions, reminding everyone that none of this is confirmed. The entire internet may be convinced there's hidden meaning in every word. But at the end of the day, it's all speculative, and all parties deserve space to grow without being dissected under a microscope. But here's the thing. This isn't the first time Selena has poured her heart out through music. Back in 2013, she dropped Forget Forever. Catchy, upbeat, but heavy. She sang about a love that was once wild and reckless. Once was a time when you loved me so reckless and free. Sound familiar? Fans immediately tied it to her on-again, off-again roller coaster with Justin, a relationship that tabloid. Culture turned into a circus, and it didn't stop there. In 2014, Selena released The Heart Wants What It Wants. The title alone said everything. In the music video, she weeps in a dimly lit room, singing lines like, "You got me sipping on your cup of poison." That line stung. She wasn't just telling a story, she was bleeding on the track. And yes, fans linked it straight to Bieber. The heartbreak, the toxicity, the helplessness. It was all there. By 2019, Selena dropped Lose You to Love Me. And once again, the narrative returned. This time, she wasn't just mourning the past, she was reclaiming herself. She sang, "I put you high up in the sky, and now you're not coming down. Powerful, painful, poetic." The kicker? That song dropped not long after Justin's engagement to Hailey Baldwin, and the timing sent fans into a frenzy. In a later interview, Selena admitted the track represented her path to healing after the breakup. So when Don't Wanna Cry dropped this year, it didn't feel like a new chapter. It felt like the final one. Each of these songs connects, like puzzle pieces, revealing a love story that was as beautiful as it was brutal. And now, the whole world's watching the fallout. So the big question remains, is Justin just reflecting, or is he finally realizing what he lost? Whatever the case, one thing's for sure, the past isn't staying in the past.
Could you have released it in the moment you felt it?
No.
Or would it have been too hard?
Absolutely.
Too tough, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't happen. It took me a long time to get through it, so now it's fine. Like, I'm smiling.
Wait.
History has a funny way of circling back. And if you ask fans, it's still very possible that Selena Gomez isn't entirely over Justin Bieber. But here's the twist. She may not be the only one, despite being married and reportedly starting a family. Justin's actions over the past few months have reignited one massive question. Does he still carry a torch for Selena? Let's not forget. For Justin, Selena wasn't just a fling, she was his first love. And maybe his only real one. Few celebrity couples have dominated pop culture like Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Their on-again, off-again saga wasn't just tabloid fodder, it was a global phenomenon. Fans were glued to every breakup, every cryptic lyric, every unexpected reconciliation. It wasn't just a relationship, it was a roller coaster. Eventually, the ride seemed to end when Justin married Hailey Baldwin. But was that really the last chapter? For years, people hoped for a fairy tale ending, a Jelena reunion, but it never came. And now, Selena's engagement to Benny Blanco has seemingly flipped the narrative. Suddenly, Justin is the one under the microscope, and the internet is asking, is he okay? The announcement of Selena's engagement wasn't just news, it was a cultural event. Social platforms exploded as millions of fans, many who had followed her emotional evolution for over a decade, celebrated this new chapter. For Selena, it marked a milestone. After years of public heartbreak, personal struggle, and career reinvention, she had finally found peace. But celebration wasn't the only reaction, because tucked inside the cheers and heart emojis was a quieter curiosity. How would Justin respond? And he did, just days later, but not with words. With a photo, Justin posted a sunlit snapshot from his vacation with Hailey in Costa Rica. But what caught fire wasn't the picture, it was the soundtrack, All My Ghosts by Lizzie McAlpine. A song about lingering memories, lost love, and the emotional ghosts that never really leave. And with that, the speculation exploded. It wasn't just any track. All My Ghosts is a song drenched in nostalgia. Lyrics like, I can see it now, the wedding of the year, and When All My Ghosts Disappear hit differently when posted just days after Selena's engagement made headlines. To the casual listener, maybe it was nothing. But for Jelena fans, it was a signal flare. They didn't just hear a song, they heard subtext, a possible confession, a man haunted by the one that got away. Was it deliberate? Was he trying to say what he couldn't say out loud? We may never get an answer. But for longtime fans, the song choice wasn't random. It was timed, it was targeted, and it spoke louder than words ever could. Justin never addressed it. Selena stayed silent, but the timeline spoke for itself. And the fans, they did the rest. Their story goes back further than most people remember. In 2010, whispers of their romance began to swirl. At first, both denied it. Selena even called Justin her little brother. But that illusion shattered fast. Soon, they were walking red carpets, attending events hand in hand, and becoming Hollywood's favorite young couple. It wasn't just love. It was a headline-generating, fan-base-defining, paparazzi-fueled phenomenon. And like all great love stories, theirs had fire and fallout. In 2011, they made their public debut as a couple at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. The chemistry was undeniable, but behind the smiles, pressure was already building. By 2014, things cracked. Reports emerged that Selena had found flirty texts, not in photos, from Kylie Jenner on Justin's phone. It was a betrayal that led to a breakup. But, like clockwork, they reconciled. Their love became a pattern. Breakups followed by passionate reunions, heartbreaks followed by hope. In 2015, Justin posted a photo with Selena captioned, "Our love is unconditional." Fans believed they were back together, but just as fast as the hope returned, it disappeared. They split again, and the cycle continued. Until one day, it didn't. In October 2017, the spark reignited once more. Justin and Selena were seen together again, going to church, riding bikes, sharing quiet moments in public like two people trying to rewrite history. It looked like the beginning of a new chapter. But by March 2018, the final page was turned. They split, for good this time, and just months later in September, Justin married Hailey Baldwin. To the world, it looked like a fresh start. But to Jelena fans, it felt like a detour, or worse, a rebound. That belief never fully died because despite the vows, the wedding rings, and the Instagram posts, something always seemed off. Some fans argued Justin was never truly over Selena, that marrying Hailey was a decision made in haste, not healing. And honestly, his behavior didn't help the narrative. Justin's public appearances with Hailey haven't always exuded joy. At times, they've seemed strained, cold, distant, the smiles forced, the chemistry muted. And behind the scenes, the pressure cooker never stopped boiling, being under a constant spotlight with their relationship dissected daily. It's taken a toll. Every glance, every gesture, every moment caught on camera has been analyzed by the world. And the ghost of Selena, fair or not, has always lingered. Justin has spoken candidly about his struggles, depression, anxiety, a painful search for purpose. He's admitted to being emotionally volatile, haunted by past decisions. He's never said these battles were because of Hailey. But the timing has raised eyebrows. Hailey, to her credit, has stood by him. She's talked openly about supporting Justin through his darkest moments, about being his rock when the world turned loud. But even loyalty doesn't quiet the whispers. Because while Hailey fights for the present, fans are still fixated on the past, and body language experts have noticed things too. Like the moments where Justin shuts down in public, or the infamous clip of him slamming a car door, with Hailey still mid-exit. Small things, but to some, they scream volumes. So the question remains, was this marriage built on love, or built on the ruins of another? In one interview, Justin confessed something that raised even more eyebrows, that he wasn't ready to commit or be faithful when he first started dating Hailey. That statement alone hit hard, because if that's how it began, what foundation? Was it really built on? But Justin's struggles aren't the only thing fans have pointed to. Hailey's past, especially her dating history, has sparked its own wave of speculation. As a Baldwin, Hailey was born into fame. Her father, Stephen Baldwin, is an actor. Her upbringing was steeped in Christian values, red carpets, and elite circles. When she entered the modeling world, her rise was meteoric, walking for major designers, landing fashion covers, and making headlines. And with that fame came high-profile relationships. In 2016, she briefly dated Cody Simpson. A year later, it was Shawn Mendes. The headlines followed. So did the assumptions. That Hailey had a pattern. That she was drawn to celebrities, drawn to status, drawn to clout. Then came Justin, and overnight, her fame skyrocketed. Fans began to question, was this love or was it opportunity? Her quick shift from dating other rising stars to marrying Justin, one of the most famous pop icons on earth, raised suspicion. Add in her constant presence at major events, designer shows, and media campaigns, and the fame chaser label stuck for some. But was it fair? Hailey has always maintained that her love for Justin is genuine, that their bond grew from years of friendship, that their marriage is built on faith, communication, and growth. And to be fair, things have evolved. In 2021, an eyewitness spotted the couple in Mexico, describing them as affectionate, loving, and completely absorbed in each other. Kissing, hugging, holding hands, a far cry from the icy rumors. Hailey has also publicly praised Justin's support, saying that when she feels unworthy or insecure, he's the first to remind her of her value. Maybe it's real. maybe they found their rhythm, or maybe they're still dancing through the echoes of a love that never truly died. From the outside, Justin and Hailey project the image of a power couple, sharing their faith, speaking about mental health, building a life in the spotlight together. And to some extent, they've done just that. They've been open about their struggles, transparent about their healing, advocates for therapy, prayer, and leaning on each other when the world gets loud. They've built a platform not just of fame, but of purpose. But behind the filtered smiles and clean PR statements, fans still feel the cracks, because while some were waiting for Justin to have an epiphany, to leave Hailey and find his way back to Selena, Selena quietly moved on. And not with just anyone, with Benny Blanco. At first, it seemed like nothing, more than industry friendship. The two had known each other for years, collaborating on tracks like Same Old Love back in 2015, and later on I Can't Get Enough in 2021 with J Balvin. The chemistry was always there, but it stayed behind studio doors. Then came Selena's 31st birthday in July 2023. Photos from the party surfaced, and fans noticed something different. Benny wasn't just another guest, he was close, cozy. Selena had her arm around him in one snapshot that went viral within hours. The body language? Intimate. The vibe? Unmistakable. Still, they didn't confirm anything. Not yet. But in classic Selena fashion, the quiet told its own story. By December 2023, she stopped being subtle. When fans speculated about her relationship status on Instagram, she responded with one word: facts. And just like that, it was official. Selena and Benny were a couple, not a PR stunt, not a rumor. Real. She followed up with a wave of heartfelt comments, calling Benny absolutely everything, and the best thing that's ever happened to her. She said he treated her better than anyone before. It was soft, secure, unapologetic, and the Yimam and fans mostly cheered. After everything she'd endured, they were just happy to see her glowing. On her terms, for the first time in years, Selena wasn't just surviving love, she was thriving in it. And Benny Blanco? He wasn't afraid to show up. The two began stepping out publicly, and their affection was hard to miss. In February 2024, Benny posted a cheeky photo where he playfully kissed Selena's shoulder and grabbed her chest, both of them laughing, like teenagers in love. It was bold, raw, and refreshingly unpolished. Fans, for the most part, loved it. After years of watching Selena navigate emotional pain, toxic partners, and media meltdowns, seeing her in a joyful, unfiltered relationship felt like justice, like healing, and it didn't stop there. In May 2024, Benny appeared on The Howard Stern Show and opened up about starting a family with Selena. He didn't dance around it. He said he thinks about having kids with her every single day. He spoke about his love for children, mentioning his godchildren, his nephews, his desire to build a future. It was heartfelt. It was intentional. Selena, later in September 2024, responded with honesty and grace. She revealed that due to her medical history, she's unable to carry children, but she made it clear that she still plans to be a mother. Whether through adoption or surrogacy, she's open to creating a family with love at the center. The world cheered, but not everyone was happy, because alongside the applause came a darker side of fandom, one that refused to let go of the past. Some die hard. Jelena loyalists lashed out, not at Selena, at Benny. The hate was loud and cruel. Comments flooded in criticizing everything from his appearance to his hygiene to his past feuds. "He's not good looking enough for her," one user tweeted. Another accused him of clout chasing. Others resurfaced a 2020 interview where he made a remark that seemed like a dig at Selena's beauty line. Even Benny joked about it, calling himself ugly in a video, trying to diffuse the criticism. But the damage was done. The judgment wasn't just harsh, it was personal. The backlash against Benny Blanco kept growing. Not just about his looks, but about his past behavior. Some fans resurfaced his infamous TikTok feud with Charlie Puth. Others pointed to years-old rumors that he had shaded Selena in an interview, comparing real artists to those who launch singles alongside makeup lines. The timing of that comment? Just weeks after Selena launched Rare Beauty, didn't help. More fans started calling for Selena to run. They brought up alleged hygiene habits, claimed he wasn't charming enough, that he didn't look the part. It was brutal. The criticism wasn't about their relationship. It was about Benny as a person, about whether he was worthy, and through it all, Selena stayed silent, not because she was uncertain, but because she didn't need to explain her piece. She had finally chosen someone who made her feel seen, not photographed, heard, not speculated over, and safe, not analyzed. But the question that lingered in the shadows was the one the internet couldn't stop asking: is this forever? Or just a phase? Because while Selena moved forward, Justin's name still floated like a ghost in every conversation. The Jelena narrative, no matter how distant, refused to fully die. Every time Justin looked a little tired in a paparazzi shot, every time Hailey trended for a cryptic post, the past came roaring back, fans speculated endlessly. Was Justin watching from afar, regretting, hurting, the truth? No one knows. Except maybe the three of them. But what we do know is this: Selena is no longer the girl writing breakup ballads in the dark. She's a woman building something real, with someone who shows up, someone who speaks openly, someone who doesn't make her love a battlefield. And Benny, he's showing the world, one quiet moment at a time, what it looks like to love without performance. Still, the internet wonders, could Justin come back? Could feelings be reignited? Or has that chapter, after all the drama, the songs, the silence, finally closed? Because even now, with Selena engaged and Justin married, the world is still holding its breath, waiting, watching, wondering, will they ever find their way back to each other? For the hardcore Jelena fans, hope is hard to kill. They see Justin's lingering glances, his cryptic captions, his flashes of vulnerability, and they think he's not over her. They see Hailey as the backup plan, the safe option, the one. He chose when the real love got too complicated. But maybe that's not the full story. Maybe Hailey and Justin have built something through the fire. Maybe their bond, forged under constant scrutiny, is stronger than outsiders give it credit for. After all, they've been transparent about their battles, their therapy, their faith, their growth. And Selena, she's no longer playing the heartbreak heroine. She's running her own show. Her love with Benny Blanco wasn't born on a stage or at an awards show. It was forged in studios, in private conversations, in years of working together before the world was even watching. And when they finally stepped into the light, it wasn't to prove anything. It was because they didn't need to hide anymore. Yes, they've had to weather hate. Yes, fans of her past relationships have questioned everything. But Selena didn't shrink. She didn't second guess. She stood tall, in love, in joy, in clarity. And Benny, he didn't run from the noise. He leaned in, he embraced her world. With all the eyes, all the pressure, all the judgment. And he still chose her. That says something. So maybe the story doesn't end the way some fans imagined. Maybe it doesn't end in a dramatic reunion, or a tearful confession, or a headline that reads, Justin and Selena back together. Maybe the real twist is this: they both found peace in different places, with different people. And maybe, just maybe, that's the ending they both always deserved.